The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com.
We were on the break!
With Ambar Garcia, Brian Broaddus, Patrick Walker, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Friday, October 27th, 2023, season 19, episode number 58. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break. We are live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. Today it is our job to get you ready for Cowboys versus Rams. Will be a big game this weekend. Those that don't think this is a big game have not watched the Rams play. This will be a very interesting game. It'll be a tricky game for the Cowboys. They'll have to get a win this weekend. It's important for them to get it right. And we're going to tell you what we think is going to happen this weekend. We've got Patrick, Brian,
Shades
Amber.
What? Haters gonna hate. That's all I can say. Haters like to
I get
hate.
nervous when you put on the shades, because then I'm like, she's going to say something that she's trying to hide from. That's what that's all about.
I'm excited because we get to play a game today again, and we haven't played one, it feels like, in forever.
I know, but that also scares me, too. The games
Why?
scare me, because you never know what's going to come out of somebody's mouth.
That's what makes it fun.
That I'm going to get a phone call
so
about.
you don't gotta worry about
Change
me.
my world, change my whole weekend, because Brian says something, and then he's like, oh, I'm a radio guy. I can say whatever I want to say.
Why am I getting in trouble in this one?
All right, here we go. Let's start with the injury
If you want me to
report.
say something, I will.
No. You're good.
Okay.
You know the rules.
Okay.
So we'll start with the injury report. It had been all week that we were looking at the injury report, and we were like, man, this is great. There's nobody there. There's nothing happening. Then yesterday,
Thursday.
Tyron Smith, you're right. Tyron Smith pops up on the injury report. What are we hearing about that injury, and kind of what's the prognosis for this weekend?
Okay, so yesterday's injury report, Thursday, Tyron was thankfully the only one that appeared on the injury report outside of Wanye Thomas, which was a full participant as well. It's a neck injury. It's being described to me as a neck stinger. He was limited in practice yesterday. Likelihood that he will be limited today, and just limited all the way up until game time. Jerry Jones spoke on 105.3 FM The Fan today, and he said that he is optimistic, period, about Tyron Smith's availability against the Rams. So as we have this conversation, Jerry Jones and the Cowboys organization feel really strongly that Tyron will be on the field come Sunday at AT&T Stadium. But we still have to see what the injury report looks like today, Friday. They're going to have a walkthrough on tomorrow, Saturday morning. So fingers crossed. But yeah, Tyron Smith, he popped up on the infamous Thursday injury report, which has been a dark day for the Cowboys this year.
Yes. Talk to me about scenarios if he can't play.
Awesome Richards, give me Awesome Richards. It'd probably be Chuma Edoga, as it was when Tyron had to sit last go round. So I think the primary plan is going to be go with the veteran again. And we talked about it. Chuma Edoga, he's played well. He's pleasantly surprised a lot of us. And then Awesome Richards will probably back him up and make his way to the active roster and escape the inactives this week. I think that would be the plan. Just go with what you've already done before.
Knowing what you're facing this week, which, again, as I led into the show, I said this is not a game you take for granted. But if you're looking at Tyron and you think there's any chance that this injury is something that could linger or could get worse from play, would you consider the possibility of sitting in this week, knowing that next week you've got an even bigger challenge playing an even better defensive front when you have to go to Philadelphia?
I'm going to say no. If it were a situation, and this is contingent upon if he's DNP today, then my opinion will probably change. But based on what we have in front of us and him being a limited participant yesterday and hearing Jerry talk about it, and it doesn't seem like McCarthy is too concerned. He's not really addressed it at all when he spoke on the Fan this morning. I would go ahead and play him because this game matters. I mean, you're coming off a bye week at 4-2. You've gained ground by virtue of the Lions losing and the 49ers going on the slide, and we don't know yet if Brock Purdy's going to play. Maybe it's Sam Darnold. So the 49ers are in a position where they may end up on a 3-game slide, and then anybody can beat anybody. Who knows, the Eagles might lose this week. You need to go ahead and really try to narrow that gap as much as possible. And you worry about next week. And you make a valid point. You're about to go up against arguably the best defensive front in the NFL next week. But at the same time, you can't take this Rams team seriously, or you're going to end up getting
Take them lightly.
Yeah, lightly.
Yeah.
And you're going to end up getting cardinaled again. So, yeah, don't take this team lightly. Go out there, play with everybody who's healthy enough to play, and you worry about Philadelphia when you get to Philadelphia.
I would disagree. I would go the other way, actually, because even though I'm a full believer on if you're healthy or good enough to play, go play. There's only X amount of games in the season, and that's your job. But at the same time, looking at next week and having that in mind, one, if you get to just sit him out, he gets an extra week of not going, of resting, quote unquote, plus whatever he does in practice. But then also the backup option gets reps of playing an actual full game with everybody else and getting ready for next week if we know how you'd never know, even if he's healthy, if he can go in and then come back out, something happens in the game, but you're already given the opportunity for the backup guy to have a full game full of reps with everybody else, which clearly, apparently, that's a huge deal of consistency and having everybody on the same page. And we know that next week, yes, definitely this weekend is very, very important. But next week, oh my God.
So here's my point to that. And I see where you're going with it, and I get it. But we also talked yesterday about, you asked the question, how many regular season games would I like to see before I see continuity? Yeah. If you sit Tyron Smith this week, you're basically hitting a soft reset. Yeah. You're hitting a soft reset. Mm-hmm. So now you're going into Philadelphia, and you're not having 3 consecutive regular season games to build that continuity.
It doesn't matter anymore.
It'll matter.
That doesn't matter anymore. I see it because it seems like it's never going to happen. There's one issue after the other. So it's like one of those things that you just got to accept it and deal with it and realize that that's just not going to be the type of luxury that you're going to get this season.
I don't accept that.
Well, Brian, what did you say? You said a few weeks ago, you said something about, that was a term you used for what you think about this offensive line and them actually getting to a point where they all play together. I can't remember what it was. It was a song or something. I don't know. But the point is, it's a pipe dream. Like, it's like the fact that you're going to be able to get, we thought this would be the 3rd in a row, and maybe it still will be. Right. But the fact of the matter is, like, right now, you're worried about ever getting to a point where you're consistently going to have the same 5 in.
Yeah, it's this one. When you asked the question, I was thinking, if you rest him, you lose continuity. If you play him, and all of a sudden it gets worse, but I think I'm on the line of playing him because I've seen Udoka play, and I don't think it's terrible. But I understand. I would, if this was Udoka having to play against Philadelphia right off the jump, then I would be a little bit like, okay, now I'm really scared here. But the fact that he's played and they've had some work with him and he's shown to be okay, I'm more likely to say if Tyron is able to go, and let's hope for the best here. If it's one of those things that he's not going to get. But they're not going to put hurt players out there. Right. That's just not what they do. If they determine that he can't go, we
saw it. What game was that? Where we thought he was going to play
Arizona.
And then he didn't.
Yeah.
It was Arizona.
Yeah, and that's why I've always, I do worry about the matchup with Byron Young. Mm-hmm. I do. I think whoever with Tyron being in the game. I worry about that matchup for the Cowboys. Udoka, I'm going to worry about that matchup as well. But man, if he can go, he's got to go. He's got to go. You got to find a way, and hopefully he gets through the game. But with that stinger thing with him, it's always about it zaps that strength.
Yep.
There's no strength, and so if he's I don't even.
It's a rough
You're
one.
not even convinced.
It's a rough one.
I'm not, and I hate to be this way.
No, I think we all feel the same way.
I hate to be this way because I hate to be the show that always tells you, well, we told you that there was going to be a time where he was going to get hurt and he's not going to make all the games and he's not. You hate to do that, but this, like you said, this is reality. This is what this team has on the offensive line. They can't enjoy trying to get the thing right. Something always gets in the way of it trying to progress. And that's the thing that's got me beat right now is that, but if he can go, he needs to go. They need to win this game. They need to win this game. They
Yeah,
really do.
This game's very important.
Yes, it
Much
is.
more important than you probably thought heading into the season. I know for me, when I saw the schedule initially, I didn't think
Yeah.
this would be as important a game. But I think there's a huge difference between getting that 5th win and going to 5-2
Yeah.
versus being 4-3. It's going to feel very different, and especially heading into a game against Philadelphia on the road.
Yep.
It's just going to feel very, very different, and you could end up in a situation where you take a 2-week slide and you're now back at 500. That's a place you really don't want to be, right?
Right.
If you lose
Right.
both these games. So, all right, let's take our first break. We're going to take a little early first break. We'll come back. I have some questions for you guys based on the matchup, Cowboys versus Rams. We'll do that in the second segment. In third segment, we will get to Amber's game, see what kind of questions she has
Better
for us.
give me enough time.
And what kind of
Spicy.
glasses, Amber, man.
So
When the
spicy.
shades
Yeah,
pop
shades
out,
Amber are
she will say
spicy,
anything.
man.
All right, we'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Cowboys fans, after that move, we've just coined the term Rowdy Replay. Let's roll back the tape.
Okay, there's our mascot Rowdy cheering on the boys. And now he's on his phone, on his Bank of America mobile banking app?
Staying on top of his finances with his virtual financial assistant, Erica.
Bank of America's digital tools are so impressive. Cowboys fans just can't stop banking. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/can't-stop-banking.
Erica is only available in the English language. You must download the latest version of the mobile banking app, only available on select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. Member FDIC.
Welcome back into Dear Doctor, the show where I answer life's questions with an ice-cold can of Dr. Pepper. Sheila, let's hear from our next caller, would you?
Dear Doctor, my friend supported me during a tough time. But what's the right gift that says, thanks for being a shoulder to cry on?
Okay, this one's easy. I say give her a delicious Dr. Pepper. Nothing says, thanks, girl, better than a one-of-a-kind soda. Yes, any Dr. Pepper flavor will do. Now, just a reminder that I don't need to be a real doctor to know that Dr. Pepper is the one you deserve.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Back to the break.
Hey, how about this? The PBR World Finals. This is a Kid Rock and Rodeo is what they're calling this thing. This is awesome. Kid Rock, that's all right. The 2024 PBR World Finals are taking over at AT&T Stadium. It all starts on May 17th with Kid Rock's Rock and Roll Rodeo. Then on May 18th and 19th, the finals compete in the 2024 PBR Championship. Let's rock and ride. 3-day tickets are on sale now at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium.
Welcome back. It is the second segment of the break, live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios.
A lot of rock and rolling going on there.
At the Star. This segment's brought to you by Blockchain.com. All right, here we go. We got some questions. I got some questions lined up here for you guys. Talking about the matchup, Cowboys versus Rams. My first question is, who is the offensive player for the Rams that should be most concerning for Dallas?
For me, it's easy to say Puka Nacua, and that would be very easy.
Wow. Easy to say?
Well, say the question again. Let me make sure I heard you.
I said the Rams player, offensive player, that should be most concerning for the Dallas defense.
Throw you off track that.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Because the way you said it, I was like, it's Cooper Kupp.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying it's Puka Nacua, and I'm like, and you were like, it's easy. I'm like,
I said it would be easy for me to say.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
But it's Cooper Kupp.
Okay. Good.
But it's the Super Bowl MVP. It's the former Super Bowl MVP.
By the way, I wouldn't be against you if you said Puka Nacua. I'm just saying I don't think it's a clear-cut, easy answer.
No, it's
but
not.
Go ahead.
And to that point, someone dropped a nice stats, and this is at iHeartEats. So kudos to him for finding this stat. It came across my Twitter timeline.
What did you just say?
What'd you call me?
Well done. Well done to you and to this gentleman. He got me. He got me. Okay, see, you jinxed it earlier in the show. You jinxed it earlier in the show.
Hey, man, it's Fridays,
he
man.
Got
It's
me.
Fridays.
He got me.
Oh, my God.
So this is the stat. We're going to push through. We're going to push through, and don't we all? We're going to push through. So since Cooper Kupp returned from injury, here are the splits from Kupp and Nacua. 28 targets per, like literally breaking even 28 targets per. And Kupp has 17 receptions, 295 yards with a touchdown. Nacua has 19 receptions, 251 with a touchdown. It's almost literally split right down the middle.
And Kupp missed how many games?
Well, I'd have to go back.
First
and check.
four, I believe.
I think it was like 3 or 4. Yeah.
So because these are weeks 5 through 7 together.
He was on the
first
IR.
four. Yeah. So this just goes to show, like I said, it'd be easy for me to say Puka Nacua, and I would be valid in doing that. But I mean, when you're talking about a former Super Bowl MVP and Cooper Kupp and what he can do, yeah, that's the most concerning not by far, but most certainly. I'll put it that way.
I will go with him though because
Puka, is it because the name rocks?
Well, not just that. Not just that. But the fact is, it's like that shiny new toy, shiny new thing that is happening in their offense, and now everybody's giving the light and attention to this guy. Not to get again. And when Brian broke down the whole offense, you were saying how kind of interchangeable or they do very similar thing, or they're using him very similar to. Mm-hmm. So, Either way, they're gonna be a problem. But I'll go with the shiny new toy.
All right.
Puka needs his own surf shop with a name like that.
I'm telling you,
Puka Nacua's surf shop. That would be cool.
Yeah.
It's actually Matthew Stafford is who you need to worry about in this game.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you do, because what happens with Matthew Stafford, he has that ability to still light you up. Mm-hmm. He can, if he gets into a rhythm, if he gets into the flow of a game, he gets receivers that are open. He could still make plays moving around in the pocket. He could throw it sidearm. He could throw it underhanded. He could throw it. He's got the arm strength, the arm talent. He could also give you the game. He could absolutely give you the game if everything's bad. Yeah, he's a very boomer bust player, but you worry about the boom. You worry about the boom, and especially with the wide receivers, Higbee at tight end. If he gets any kind of protection in this game, and maybe they find a little bit of a semblance of a running game, that can make him even more dangerous. So I think Matthew Stafford, they just load him up, see what happens, but you got to get after him. It's to make him uncomfortable is the best thing, but he is going to play with toughness. He's going to play with grit. He's playing at home. He's going to want to do well. He's had some games. I just remember that game we were sitting on the sidelines in Detroit, and Megatron had 357 yards of receptions. And that
you had to bring that up.
Well,
that was a bad one.
That was when you lost lunch for everybody at Hard 8 after that one.
Absolutely did.
And I jinxed it by saying you were going to have to pay, and I ended up having to pay. But I worry about him getting into the flow of a game. I really, really do.
I agree with that. He's got a big arm, too. And we've talked about Cowboys will give up some chunk plays on you. Their offense is predicated on big plays. And so I kind of agree with you, Brian. I'd go with Matthew Stafford on that one.
Where would you rate him as in the list of quarterbacks that the Cowboys defense has already faced?
Oh, that they've already faced.
Well, he's better than Daniel Jones.
He might be the best.
Better than Zach.
He's better than our guy at the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, if Aaron Rodgers was playing, it might you'd say Rodgers probably
better than Wilson, better than Joshua Dobbs.
I will say this, and even if you wanted to, you could say Purdy's playing better than him or whatever, but if you just take raw quarterback skills, I think he's better than Purdy and anyone else you want to throw on that list of guys that they've played thus far.
The guy at the Chargers,
the best one they would have.
The guy at the Chargers, I think, is in that, and I know he's in his career now. He's like the all-time leader in losses for the first 4 or 5 years of his career. So, and I don't think that's all him. He's had some bad moments, but if you said you could have Herbert or have Stafford, I would take Herbert.
I bring the question.
Is that because of age, though? If you took the age factor, if they both were in the 5th year of their career,
if they were the same player,
I'm taking Stafford.
Yeah, because right now, obviously, the age would make a huge difference.
The age makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Take age out, and I'm taking Stafford.
Me too. I'm kind of with you on that.
I'll take Herbert.
Okay.
God, I ride that train right into the.
You didn't sound very confident about that.
No. I mean, and I hate riding the fence even more.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like I'm going into the tunnel and there's a train coming at me when I say Herbert.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen.
That's kind of what it feels like. Yeah.
You've seen what a young Stafford can do, especially if you're a Cowboys fan. You've seen what a young Stafford.
He's got a big arm. He can make some throws. He can throw off platform.
Similar. He's lost as a young Stafford lost a lot of games.
He did.
But that's also like, let's be clear.
Context.
It's the same thing. Like he was at a franchise that is notorious for losing a lot of games.
Right.
So if you're going to give if you're going to give Herbert that kind of deference, you got to do the same thing for him because Detroit. I mean, he was in Detroit. Yeah. It's Detroit.
Yeah.
You know.
I know.
It's the old Detroit.
It's the old Detroit, right?
It's not the Dan Campbell Detroit.
I respect their hustle right now.
It's not the Dan Campbell Detroit.
I wonder if Detroit had better receivers than what. But Chargers got some good receivers.
I was going to say you kind of go down the list. I mean,
Megatron or
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen.
Yeah. Both of them are really, really good.
There is no or. It's Megatron.
I mean, Megatron's obviously.
It's Megatron. I mean,
Megatron is better than him. Let's get it.
Megatron.
But Keenan Allen's not a joke. Like, he's a great receiver.
A baller.
He's
a
great receiver.
My
but there are
opinion
levels to this, and Megatron is a different level.
He is. All right, let's go to the next question. Defensive player for the Rams that you should be most concerned about if you're Dallas.
It's still 99.
Is it?
It's still 99.
You can say it's easy.
That's easy. It doesn't even require an explanation. It's 99. You look at his resume. You look at the fact he's still playing at a high level. He's still the heartbeat and the centerpiece of that defense. And if you don't account for him and where they'll move him around to try to get him freed up, then you're in for a very long day as an offensive line. So there's no need for me to overthink it. It's Aaron Donald, period.
Same. Totally agree. He's been a guy that when he came into the league and I started working here, Henry Schroka, which works in the scouting department with Will McClay, long time.
Still there.
Yeah, still here. He had mentioned him and just like how nasty of a player he is, and that still carries till this day. He's still that type of player. So definitely a guy to be very, very aware of.
Super villain.
I mean, he will make his presence known for sure.
Give me Witherspoon, the corner. From the Rams. And I'll tell you this, just because when they throw the ball his direction, he doesn't give up many plays. So if you're all of a sudden it turns into Dax read is, okay, it's going to go at Witherspoon here. It's a 50-50 play. Maybe it's a third down. Maybe it's to keep the drive going. I think challenging him, they're absolutely right about the defensive tackle. There's no question. But if you look at it, just another player to keep an eye on is Witherspoon, the corner. He's going to play on your right side there. If I'm the Cowboys, I think I kind of stay away from him if I can.
All right, I need to lay this question out for you guys, so pay attention to this. We know
we've
learned
know about this.
I know, right? Dallas. We know Dallas leads in pressure rate, right? They lead the NFL with 45.9% of the time they get pressure on dropbacks. Now, here's the interesting part: Stafford has been under pressure 42.6% of the time that he's dropped back this season. That's the fifth highest in the NFL. So, Cowboys pressure a lot. He gets pressured a lot so far. Here's how he's performed. Right now, Stafford is ranked number 1 in the NFL in yards and quarterback rating when he's pressured. Yeah. He is 27th and 11th in those same categories when he's not pressured. Yeah. Question for you guys is, does this passing attack now negate what has been the strength for this Dallas defense, which is pressure?
That sounds kind of crazy.
It does, but it's an interesting. When I saw the stat, I was like, wow. So you've got a team that likes the pressure and they're really good at it, but you got a quarterback that thrives under pressure.
Yeah. I think for me, it's about going back to a couple episodes ago. I said it's time to get home. Like, this is where you need to get home because while that it's very impressive and it's kind of an oddity, right? Yeah. He can't throw the ball from the ground. Right. So, and kind of going to putting the reporter hat back on really quickly, Rob Havenstein, starting right tackle, he mispracticed with a calf injury that popped up this week. So we're talking about Tyron Smith with the neck stinger and limited. Well, they have an issue on the right side. And that's DeMarcus Lawrence's side for the most part when they're not moving opposite sides. But that's something that the Cowboys can use not only as far as pressure is concerned, but maybe they can take such advantage of that situation that it helps them get home and put hands on him. So, I mean, kudos to Matthew Stafford because that is ridiculous to be able to thrive under pressure like that. But at the same time, that means that those teams that are pressuring him aren't getting home as often as they need to. And this is something that the Cowboys have kind of struggled with, not the pressure aspect, but the getting sacks and getting home. And I just think this is a game where they need to. I think it's set up for them to do that, particularly with their speed off of the defensive line versus the lack thereof. And Matthew Stafford, more of a pocket guy. Just get home, put him on the ground. You can't throw the ball with his back on the grass.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty crazy question because what else are you supposed to do other than try to pressure and get there?
I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying, does it negate what they do well? Like, is this the antidote to what the Cowboys do well, that you have a quarterback that does well against pressure?
You keep going at it because the only way, and again, going back to Brian's scouting report, the whole thing of how much he's not a runner. He's not the type of quarterback that can escape, get out the pocket, run for his life, throw the ball. So, and that leads to certain times where you can make him and create an interception, like get your hands on the ball. And we've mentioned Deron Bland. Maybe this is a game where he gets that third interception. But that's the only way that you can try to create those turnovers, try to get a sack, or try to throw him off the game. We know he's not going to take off running, his injury history and all that. So I just don't see any other way than just keep going at it, and hopefully it works out this time for the Cowboys' advantage.
Give me pressure. Give me coverage over pressure in this one. Give me some coverage here.
Mm-hmm.
I need to not let these guys run wide open. And sometimes they go hand in hand. If you're able to cover, you get the pressure that leads to your sacks.
Coverage sack.
Yeah. So to me, I just don't want to see them create a lot of separation. I don't want to see them scheme Dallas into double moves and picks where guys are running scot-free. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden you do get the pressure, and now all of a sudden you're playing man coverage and they've run the mesh routes across, and Tutu Atwell is running wide open down the field. So I think if you said if I could have one or the other in this game, just give me as much coverage as I can. So make Matthew Stafford have to work in this game, and hopefully if you get the coverage, the pressure gets there that leads to the sacks.
Yeah, he dropped 7 for a rush.
I'm trying to.
You can get that enough rush where the coverage will slow him down, and then the pass rush gets there.
I do worry about, because the numbers don't lie there with this guy.
Yep.
They really, really don't. But you do need to find a way to get him on the ground or to hit him a bunch.
Yeah.
In this game.
All right, we're going to take our final break. We'll come back. Amber's got a game. DallasCowboys.com radio.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Don't put off getting your oil changed, Dallas. Take 5 Oil Change, a proud partner of the Cowboys, is faster than you think. There's no appointment needed and no waiting room. Yep, you heard that correctly. Take 5 is so fast, you don't even have to get out of your car. You can take advantage of Take 5's fast, friendly, and simple service at any of their locations across the Dallas area. And remember, at Take 5, you stay in your car because they're faster than you think. Take 5, the official oil change of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Back to the break.
Make a statement this football season with the new Nike Volt collection, a bold collection with neon accents that will make you stand out like the star you are. Head to the pro shop near you or log on to shop.dallascowboys.com, a Fanatics experience.
Welcome back. Final segment of the break live from SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. Amber, take it away.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome very much.
She went full Elvis.
This is my favorite time of the week.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Mine too.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to play a game, and this one did pretty well last time. A lot of people liked it, and it's basically captioned this with a lot of memes. Sorry for the people that are just listening and
they
doing
have
the
a
audio
choice.
version.
Pull up the video.
But yes, if you all can go back and pull up the video. So we're going to start off with the first meme.
Okay.
It's a dog. It looks like a chihuahua with the eyes wide open, looking a little stunned. So who wants to start off?
For me, that was after enjoying Wednesday's injury report, seeing Tyron pop up yesterday with a neck injury. That was me looking at the injury report yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, that was, how Mike has been talking all season about Defensive Player of the Year and all that stuff. That was him last weekend sitting on his couch watching Myles Garrett play. Just like, oh, yeah.
That's what that looks like.
I don't know. I don't know how this whole Defensive Player of the Year thing's going to work out.
That's me after I realized that there's no more bye weeks in the season, and I have to work all these games straight. So that's the attitude. That's the kind of the look I have, like, really?
That would be the O-lines, the linemen's faces after knowing that.
Yeah. That's how many weeks we have to work straight now.
Right.
All right. And you guys can vote. Send us. Do we still have the text?
Yes, we still have the text.
The text line
I don't
or
have
whatever.
The
We'll check
the number. Yeah, the number is
or on Twitter. On Twitter, let us know.
817-290-3298.
Yeah,
One more time, please.
817-290-3298.
There you go.
All right. Let us know who has the best caption.
All
All right. Second one. We have a guy who's kind of lost in a trans thought.
It looks like he's contemplating, and for me, that's after seeing the Cowboys finally get Brandon Cooks involved against the Chargers, it's me thinking, might have they figured that out?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's me with Cooks' integration into the offense.
This is the Rams trying to figure out who their field goal kicker is going to be this week.
After they let Maher go.
Yeah, after they said Brett Maher, they saw Brett Maher, they're like, oh, we trust him. And then he misses all these extra points and field goals. That's the Rams trying to decide how they're going to.
See, I can't tell if the person is just lost in thought and you're just kind of like, I have no idea, or if they're sitting there and really has like this great scheme, great plan. So it reminds me of Jerry at the trade deadline. Like, I just don't know what this is going to become. I got some ideas, but maybe not. Like, I have no idea, but this is what it's like to be Jerry at the end of the trade deadline.
That might be Mike McCarthy, too, about the running game right there, too. Yeah. That might be, yeah.
All right. I actually had these back to back, but I am not accepting Derek's request, which he demanded during the break.
I don't demand anything.
You have a game. You have a game, and Derek wants to take the game over.
He lost any request changes after a sigh. Amber's game. All right. Next one up, we have a little monkey just looking at a phone, and then he's like, "Oh my God!" Put his head down.
This one came to me quick. Y'all know Tad, our guy, our PR guy. He's the head of PR for the Cowboys. This is Tad looking at Micah's podcast every week, like, oh God, how am I going to handle this? What am I going to do now? How do I handle this?
I think
situation?
He's doing pretty well with his podcast.
He is. It's a fun podcast, but for a PR guy, I'm sure this is like not very comfortable.
It's okay.
I'm guessing.
Micah, keep rolling, man. You're doing a great job.
I think that was me in the press box against the Chargers, the past couple games, I'll say, seeing the offense mostly forget about Jake Ferguson, or at least kind of get Jake going and then like getting away from him. That's me seeing Jake Ferguson open more often than not and then not get targeted. And then that's me looking down like, Look for Fergie.
Again.
Look for Fergie.
That's the feeling I have right there when I talk. I do Twitter every morning when I answer questions of fans.
Oh, I like that one. That's me reading the mentions.
That is me reading and then trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to answer this one? That's exactly what
Ice cream.
I'll give you an honorable mention. That's me when Patrick or Brian finds has time and finds somebody on Twitter that they're gonna go in on.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh gosh, please don't do it, and then it's like, oh, they did it, they said it. Oh gosh, here we go.
They don't hold back. Yeah.
Oops.
No hold
Actually,
back.
I do hold back.
Right.
If you know,
that's the crazy part. You actually hold back.
Yeah, if you know, like I know.
You're pretty witty with it. All right, we got
Get witty with
it. Nice.
We had a rooster. Or chicken, I think it's a rooster.
It's a rooster.
That is just running really, really fast, has got to go by.
That was me getting the hell out of Santa Clara as quickly as possible. Couldn't get out of there fast enough.
That's Jerry every time Micah comes up to his office saying, let's talk about my contract.
Oh.
I'm out. I'll talk to you later.
Gotta go. Bye.
That to me is, it looks like something that maybe when I think about trying to get Turpin more involved in the offense, that's the vision I have right there. Something kind of quick, explosive.
So him doing
As he's running down the field for a touchdown, he's waving. Bye.
Just high stepping along the way. Yeah, that's Turpin getting involved in the offense right there to me.
All right. I forgot what this kid did in the actual video, but is that the Charlie Bit Me?
I think
kid?
Charlie Bit
Is
Me
it?
kid.
That's hilarious.
I can't remember.
I
but
love that video.
He's screaming. So, what would this be for you, Brian?
I think that was me at the end of the Arizona game when I was just like, I knew that something bad was going to happen, and I just had to just let it all out at the end. I think when I went right into our post game show, right before we went on there, that's exactly what I did. I just yelled, and it started with a word with F. It basically is what I did. So yeah, that's
let
me.
Let it out.
Yeah, let it out. I did.
I want to say that's me during the bye week because while I am very appreciative of a 4-2 start, having overcome adversity. You look at the Lions lose, and then you look at the 49ers lose a second straight, and I'm looking at that 4-2 like it could have been better.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's me knowing that 4-2 could have been 5-1, and it really would have been a valuable 5-1 based on those two other top NFC teams falling last week. So yeah, that one hurt.
For me, that right there. That's Dak's inner self looking at the national media. He might not show you on the outside, but inside, he's screaming, leave me alone.
STF.
Yeah.
All right. We got...
Just out of principle, you're not going to the other.
Yeah.
Exactly. somehow
he's like shoving them all around. He's like, I'm not doing that one.
The cards once again fell that way, and I'm like, no, I am not pleasing Derek. Okay, we got we got the squirrel who's like pretty surprised, in shock.
That was how bad they played against San Francisco. That's like holding the stomach, like, it's like the big gut punch.
Or how bad they played against Arizona.
Yeah, well, either way. But
right.
That was, I did not see the San Francisco game going that badly, and that's exactly how I would, just that gut punch.
I'm actually going to go to the Lions on this one. I mean, not 1 week after we gave the Lions justifiable kudos for playing well. I mean, they've been hot, like one of the hottest teams in the NFL, and they just got absolutely mollywopped.
Yeah. Started reading the headlines.
It wasn't even a competition. It was exactly what happened to the Cowboys in the San Francisco game. So that was quite literally me watching Lions game like, whoa.
That might be the whole NFL right there, what we're seeing every week, though. Like different games, like, whoa, really? Whoa.
That's the NFL.
That kind of thing, yeah. Strange lady, as we say.
Yep. That to me is how the NFL is looking at Puka Nacua.
Like,
who the hell is this guy, and where did he come from?
Exactly.
Yeah, why is his name so awesome?
Right.
It is pretty awesome. I'll say this. This was when I saw this was my little face when the Cowboys got Brandon Cooks the ball, and he got it in the end zone. I was like, did it really just happen?
She went forward.
Did it really just happen?
Brandon Cooks has come to Dallas.
Okay, we got a guy looking very confused, and he says, "Oh no, baby, what is you doing?"
Because I remember those when that went viral. Like, oh no, Danny, what you doing? That was me in Los Angeles when, and I believe Michael Gallup's going to have a bounce back. But when a guy is not, when he's struggling early, to target him 10 times over the course of that game. Often, and you looked at me in the press box every once in a while, you saw that was on my face, and by the time they got to like the 5th target, I was just like, oh no, baby, what is you doing? Feed Cooks and Lamb and get these Jake, for example. Like, this was not Gallup's game, so stop forcing it on him. Go with what the defense is giving you.
This is, for me, this is the Cowboys looking at the schedule makers and looking at their December schedule. Yeah. Like, what is you doing? Like, how do we match up with all these teams one after the other for the entirety of December and January? So
that's me, like, realizing I'm having to buy Ranger gear now every week because I'm covering these World Series games, and it's like, what am I doing?
They're not giving you that stuff?
No, heck
Come
no.
on, man.
No, man, we get no free gear out of this.
Wow.
So this is,
Y'all the official station. You don't get any gear?
I know. I don't get any Cowboy gear.
I got you. Let me know what you need. I got you.
But yeah, that's every week I'm having to buy more and more Ranger gear, and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? But I'm happy they're where they are today.
No doubt.
Yeah, very exciting.
And that's a nice stop, too. I like that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That is very nice.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Old school logo here.
Yeah.
Very exciting times for sports in DFW area. All right, we got this one, just a collective group of office workers just clapping and saying, great work, well done, good job, terrific.
Speaking of the Rangers, that to me reminded me of the Cowboys organization looking at the Rangers right now, because they all have that kind of look like,
because it's kind of like sarcastic.
This is awesome. You're awesome. And thinking to, like, as Jerry said, I am a little bit envious. Like, I know it has to, like, I think the Cowboys are fully in support of the Rangers. Don't get me wrong.
They are.
But there's something about your neighbor, when they get something good happen to them, you're kind of like, okay, when's my time going to come? I kind of am ready for this, So
I think that's Derek going into a meeting when he gets the numbers about all his shows. Yeah. And he's like, and everybody's like, oh, great job, Derek. Good job. Doing a great job there, Derek. Keep it going. Keep it rolling.
Until those numbers aren't great. And then it's like,
and then
they're
like,
over there in media.
And then you're the gut punch squirrel.
Right. Right, exactly.
For me, that is 100% me watching Amari Cooper in Cleveland. It's just like he's going off. It's just like,
that's great.
Here you're cooking. Way to be.
Way to cook.
Ouchie.
All right, we got 2 more. This one is the little baby with the smirk, little smile.
That's me watching Dak Prescott use his legs to make things difficult on the defense. Finally, it's here, and hopefully it stays here. But watching him take off for that 18-yard touchdown and then an 11-yarder and then extend the play to get that ball to Tony Pollard for the 60-yard play, yes, that was me the whole time, because you and I and Brian and a lot of us have been like, let him run. Let him run. And he started running. That was me like, there it is.
All right, let me make this easy for you.
Oh, my God.
So he finally got it.
He stole it. He's a cheater.
Dak's inner self? Dak's outer self. Dak ain't going to show you what he's thinking, but inside, that's probably what he's thinking.
I'm not gonna lie, that could apply to me as well. Like,
right.
Yeah, especially on Twitter. Like with the Twitter mention, that's definitely me. Where I'm just like, man, I'm really trying not to get fired.
Right.
So that's me that's me replying. But the ones I delete before I send, is that one.
Oh yeah, you always delete several before you get there, right?
Yeah. That's when I hit the game right on prediction and got close to the score. Got the game right and the score close. That's me right there.
Proud Brian.
Very proud Brian.
Proud Brian.
We haven't popped out Proud Brian in a long time.
Been a while.
You haven't been proud in a minute.
Been a while.
All right, this other one is very similar. I should not even have included this one.
That one's easy for me.
But this is that one guy that is like, little smirk too with a smile.
You know what that is? That's Brandon Aubrey looking at Cowboys break. You know how we buried him. We buried him before the season.
Well,
He's looking at us. We had a front row seat.
It was fair judgment.
Yeah,
it was 100%.
But he's right now looking at us like, what you think about me now?
97% confidence. That's what I'm thinking right now. Like, ball out, young man. That's me to any and everyone, and not just right now. It's been this way for a few weeks now. That's also me looking at Big Nate. I know you're listening, Big Nate.
Yeah.
Anybody putting Jalen Hurts in the MVP conversation? That's why you always lying. Like, that's what that meme is. Like, no, I don't know. You can't justify it to me. So
he still is in the he's in the race.
No, he's not. AJ Brown.
He is on the best team statistically. The wins and losses, the best team in the NFL. Them and the Chiefs. He's in the conversation. I'm not saying he wins. He's in the conversation. There's no way he's not in the conversation.
And yet I don't believe he's in the conversation.
All right.
AJ Brown is in the conversation.
Okay.
Right? Right. And when you talk about quarterbacks,
but you also know how quarterbacks are. Like quarterbacks get different. He's in the conversation.
That's a different conversation.
But that's what he's in the conversation. But go ahead. Sorry, we digress.
Why you always lie?
That's Oso Digizua. That's Osa right there. He's smiling. He knows he's playing well.
He is.
Playing very well.
And he doesn't get the love that everybody else does, but he knows. He has to know he's playing well. He's doing his thing.
Yep.
Yeah, he's doing
All
his
right,
thing.
that's it for the game.
That wasn't too bad. Good job. All right,
Derek made sure he got his off before he was like, nope, you're not getting away from it.
All right, let's get some picks. What do you guys think's going to happen this weekend?
I got Cowboys taking this one 30-14. I think they do get home on Matthew Stafford, especially with the issues at right tackle. Going to be a challenge stopping those wide receivers, but you take down Matthew Stafford, you delete the wide receivers altogether.
All right. Dallas 28-20. I think it's going to be a little bit maybe a closer game. Score could be closer, but I think Dallas is probably a 7-point better than the Rams.
Okay. As you speak, so you create. The Dallas Cowboys will win this game. They will get in pressure all day long, the quarterback, and I can see this a game where they finally start getting stacking up sacks once again and getting a couple of turnovers. And
I like that.
Yeah, I would think 32-24.
I actually think this is going to be a get-right game for the Cowboys offense, and what I mean by that is I think they're going to score as many points as they've scored all season offensively. Like, they've had some big points, but a lot of those came from defense, special teams. I think this week is the week that Dak gets going. They get Brandon Cooks involved. They really start the passing game moving. I think it's a close game, but a high-scoring game. 34-31 Dallas wins.
Ooh. Oh. Don't do that to my heart.
It'll be a fun game. I think it's going to be a lot of explosive plays on both sides. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch if you have no vested interest. But if you're a Cowboys fan, it's going to be one of those games that's gut-wrenching too. Yeah, because it's going to go back and forth. There will be moments when the Cowboys will not be winning this game. So I think it'll be a fun game. All right.
Stress.
Appreciate you guys joining us. We'll be back Monday. We'll let you know what went right and wrong. Till then, for Patrick Walker, Brian Broaddus, Amber Garcia, I'm Derek Eagleton. This has been The Break, live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?